Hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about something we all do, every single one of us. We make mistakes, and we're going to explore how just a tiny shift in how we see them can take us from that awful feeling of shame and put us on a path to real growth. So let's jump right in.
So let's start with this incredible analogy. Just think about it for a second. Can you even imagine a bird without its wings? Or a river that has no current? It's impossible, right? The point here is that mistakes are just as natural, just as essential to us. They're not a glitch, they are a fundamental part of what makes us human.
And that brings us right to our first big idea, the true nature of mistakes. The core concept we're unpacking is that they aren't just random accidents. They are an absolutely essential part of who we are. And this is really where the magic happens, where we reframe the whole thing. A mistake isn't a wall you hit or a dead end. No way. It's a doorway. It's a signal that's literally giving you a chance to learn and a catalyst to get better at whatever you're doing.
Okay, but if all that positive stuff is true, it brings up a huge and really common problem, a contradiction that I'm pretty sure we have all felt, and that's the problem of shame.
So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If making mistakes is as natural to us as a bird having wings, then why do we feel so much shame? Why do we beat ourselves up, hide what we did, instead of just, learning from it? It feels like a total contradiction.
Well, let's explore a very common belief that might just explain where all this shame comes from. It's the idea that mistakes aren't just little slip-ups, that they're actually the first step on a pretty dangerous path.
This is the scary progression that so many of us are afraid of. It all starts with one simple mistake. But if you don't deal with it, it starts to harden into what feels like a character flaw. And that flaw, if you let it fester, can eventually lead to a crime, a really big transgression. You can see how that logic would fuel the shame, right?
But hang on. Let's just pause for a second and ask, what's the actual trigger here? What's the thing that turns a simple mistake into something so much worse? Is it the mistake itself, or is there some other hidden factor that kicks off this whole downward spiral?
And here we are. We've arrived at the core insight of this whole idea. The argument is that the true cause, the real culprit, isn't the mistake. Not at all. It's our reaction to it. It's the shock of not accepting it.
So, here's the crucial point, plain and simple. The problem isn't the error you made. The real problem is trying to avoid it, refusing to admit it happened. The second we hide or deny a mistake, we're the ones who give it the power to grow into something way more damaging.
So let's just trace this transformation again so it's crystal clear. A mistake that isn't accepted becomes a flaw. A flaw that isn't addressed can then become a crime. See? It's the refusal to own it, not the mistake itself, that's actually doing the real damage. Okay, so if non-acceptance is the problem, then acceptance has to be the solution. But this isn't passive. It's not about just giving up. It takes real, actual courage to look our own imperfections right in the eye.
This is the call to action. Have the courage to just say, yep, I made a mistake. That simple act of acceptance is the most important first step you can take. It breaks the negative cycle and starts the real process of correction.
And here it is, the alternative path. Instead of that scary downward spiral to crime, we have a clear, powerful path to growth. A mistake happens, then we accept it, and that acceptance leads us directly to correction and improvement. The choice of which path you want to take, that's always ours.
Let's end on this powerful final thought, which just puts it all so perfectly. If there is any crime, it is not accepting your mistake in time. The real failure isn't making the mistake. That's just being human. The real failure is letting the moment to own it and to learn from it just pass you by. So, the next time it happens, which path will you choose?